It's only right.
We're ready to start our match, guys. The loser of this best of one is out of the ASL.
시즌 9 게임 준비 완료. 에스컬레이드에서 게임을 시작합니다.
JYJ was not even in the game.
And
all right.
Hello.
Now you see how we sit.
Yeah. Now you know that I lied out when I cast.
It just hit me when you said whoever loses this best of one is out of the ASL.
Yeah.
You can go to 3 different qualifier sets. Seoul and then Gwangju is our second one this time, and then Busan.
Mm-hmm.
And you play best of 3s through brackets, right? So you have all these chances to qualify with best of 3s.
Right.
And then you come to ASL, and then it's like,
if
you lose 2 maps, we're sending you home. That's it.
Yeah, it's true.
It's weird.
It's rough.
Yeah.
We're in the game. Cross spawns, YSC in the upper right, our Terran player JYJ in the bottom left.
Yeah. YSC is a very strong PvT player.
What does YSC stand for?
It's his name.
Oh, okay.
And JYJ stands for his name.
Because I know with JYP, that's the name of a K-pop talent agency.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
It's also, I believe, initials for his name.
Is it?
Yeah.
But you know, JYP was on like Korea's Got Talent or whatever. He was a contestant there where he was singing.
Yeah, he's a great singer.
So I thought
he sings at every esports wedding. It's so funny.
Yeah, that's true. We've been to plenty of weddings where there he is, singing away. So we got a pylon coming down now as the game starts up here. This is again a more normal map, so we're going to see more of the StarCraft that Artosis and I know how to cast. We won't be confused when we see an eBay come down and think, well, why would he make that?
Well, imagine if he does it here. I'm going to be like, there must be
something we don't understand.
Yeah, there must be something cloaked in the ground he needs to kill. But yeah, okay, so this should be fun. They're in positions where you can't really kill each other very quickly. I mentioned this in the previous time that we cast this on Sunday. The rush distance in cross spawns is 40 seconds, which is really, really long for people who don't quite understand. It's 4 seconds longer than Fighting Spirit. And already you know, if you play a lot of StarCraft or watch a lot of StarCraft, if they're cross spawns, you won't see many early attacks because you kind of just
the travel
naturally
distance
go into
is
a
too
macro
great.
game.
Yeah,
much more easily into a macro game. So. Nexus first here for YSC,
okay.
And in cross spawns on any map, and especially this map, that is not punishable.
Right.
But it is a gasless expand from JYJ, so he won't really be that far behind.
These are fun games to cast because both players are racing to get ahead here. And so I'm really excited to see how YSC is going to try to handle this because a lot of times Nexus first, some of the responses from Terran are to try to win really fast with a push, which is very handleable here for the Protoss. But this time around, it's not the case. They're both racing up economically.
Yeah, and I think that this is obviously a little bit better for YSC. You know, he's going to get his tech out a reasonable amount quicker. And this is actually taking JYJ a long time to scout it, but that's okay. It doesn't really change all that much with his build.
Okay, so immediately YSC is going to see what's happening. I'm curious when the third Nexus is supposed to be made when you see something like this. Like, if you're a Terran player and you're doing this, and then you see what they're doing, if they make a third Nexus right away, are you scared, or is that a bad move? Because this type of a game,
this type of game?
Yeah, I don't really understand PvT with these two builds interacting.
Yeah. So the standard for a gasless expand is to go into 2 factories quickly. Most of the time what you do is you get siege mode in 1 tank, and then you just make mass vultures. So the tank, along with the bunker, pushes the Dragoons away, and then you slip out your vultures. So something like that would be very good against a third Nexus.
Right.
So I wouldn't expect for YSC to take a third Nexus quickly. You know, on certain maps, you'll have, like, maybe an expansion on a high ground with a little ramp, and maybe you can make a wall and get away with murder, but I don't believe that's the case on Escalade. So yeah, I don't really expect a very fast third base here, because JYJ most likely is going to get out there and be able to mess with it.
Is carrier tech ever viable off of these quick Nexus builds?
Yeah, it's like viable. This map doesn't look good for it. I haven't seen a ton of games on the map yet.
Right.
But it seems a little bit too wide open for something like that. I think it's much more likely going to be an Arbiter map. Oh, this is hilarious. The SCV hold position on the ramp, then bring the Marines up and kill. He only got one probe, but lost mining time as well. It's fine.
I don't know if that's actually worth it, but
yeah.
The Marines are always, they can be handy later on in pushes. It's funny because you need to have a few Marines just so that you can get into factory tech. But one funny thing about Marines in these pushes is that it takes 4 Dragoon shots to kill a Marine.
Yeah.
Which it's like, yeah, obviously the Dragoon is much better than the Marine. But if you have tanks and vultures behind that Marine, think about it like this. It takes 8 Dragoon shots to kill a tank. And Dragoons don't fire that fast. So a lot of times saving them for the push, it gives you just enough time for a few more siege tank splash damage shots to get off.
Sure. For very quick pushes, a group of Marines is very helpful for the push. And it normally will determine whether or not you're actually going to be able to get across the map with goons microing against you. This is so funny that probe is still alive. Wow. That thing lasted forever. Anyways, you know, YSC going to be able to come up here and put some pressure on. His range will be finishing shortly here.
Now teching into a robo here. Remember that Protoss doesn't, after that probe's gone, you don't know what's happening inside the Terran's base. And this is a very important moment for the Terran player to decide what type of game he's going to be playing here. Terran has to come up with some kind of push, and it's up to the Protoss to try to stop it.
Oh, no. Okay.
Yeah.
Gets it back in time. Good block with the SCVs there by JYJ.
Oh, he needs to repair that tank.
Yeah, he was trying to bait him in. But we should have Siege finishing up pretty quickly here. You almost always just go Siege immediately. What? Are you crazy?
That's the Protoss's dream right there, is that they actually
What are we doing?
Not prepared.
Like, you see the Vultures already starting to pop out here. I guess you have to make a second tank now.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Now the damage is just going to pile up.
Yeah, he's going to lose a ton of money repairing. I can't believe he brought up that injured tank like that.
This is really smart. Just coming in here, he takes out the Vulture.
And now you know for sure that upgrade is Siege mode. So now he just, like, he has Siege mode and no tank.
He needs to get a 4th SCV. There he goes.
Oh, my God.
Vulture speed's done.
Oh, is it?
I think so. It looked like it was moving a little bit quicker. He's going to tech into Arbiters, which is a much more common way to play.
Yeah, I think that's a very
Promise,
solid
this is
call
like
up
a
there.
lot of damage Terran's taking right now.
My God. And now that he has 6 goons, you can walk up and snipe SCVs.
Right.
Something
That
weird
was
happened there
yeah.
where he missed a shot with one of the goons.
It was like they all fired on the SCV and then it didn't die. I don't know what happened there.
That's exactly what it was like.
That was strange.
I hate when things like that happen.
Yeah.
Even here, I'm like, no, he should...
And this game's moving fast enough, we'll just never know what really happened back there, but something looked weird.
Yeah, stuff like that happens occasionally. Anyways, he finally pushes him back, but JYJ's build is thrown off a little bit here. Again, like I mentioned, a lot of times you just want a single siege tank to push back everything, so you can slip your speed vultures out and get some sort of map presence, some sort of map awareness. Now, he is going to block him from getting in. But if you're running around scouting and kind of this is what you see, you're going to kind of assume that he's probably going towards Arbiters right now.
Right. So he comes down now. And here we go. With the Arbiter tech, by the way, getting out really quickly, it's not so much that you need your army cloaked right away, it's that you want to have 2 Arbiters out. Having 2 Arbiters with stasis, recall is really scary. Because what you have to do as a Protoss is always match whatever the Terran's trying to do.
The same can be said from Terran too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Realistically, like if they're adding gates, you should be adding facts, you know, that type of thing. There's kind of like a funny mirroring that is correct in this matchup.
There's a real build order dance both sides are doing, and they have to be following each other very well. Sometimes this matchup can, to the uninitiated, just seem like they're both back in their base, not really engaging each other. Totally not the case. You have to be reading what they're doing, predicting their movement, and being prepared.
Now, YSC has that 3rd base up, sending some probes over. The Vulture's just kind of keeping an eye on what's going on. He's not expecting to find a lot of damage with them or anything. He's making his own 3rd base, own 3rd command, rather. Yeah, taking 3rds on this map is kind of kind of interesting. I'm not sure exactly how you're.
Well, it
supposed
seems
to
like you
do it.
almost can't take a third as Terran, right?
Yeah, it's
That's
pretty
so far away.
Yeah.
I mean, Protoss can take a third easily because they're the race that has to expand and grow. But I mean, it almost seems like Terran's forced into a two-base push situation, which, from a Terran perspective, it just seems like that would be very uncomfortable.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to delay your third base some, but his third isn't really that delayed. Like, his command center should be done right about now. Yeah, in fact, I see it floating. So he is going to go ahead and take his third base, and that's pretty close to on time. Like, 9 minutes is a very normal third base. So it looks like both sides just kind of macroing at the moment. And I think that we're just going to see a very, very standard game from here.
I got confused for a second. I didn't realize he was transferring. I'm like, what is this, Marine King Prime playing StarCraft 1? He's going to send his SCVs with us?
Oh, man.
So, we have Terran slowly pushing out here. Doesn't look like Protoss is going to bite. We probably won't see Protoss do anything as far as engaging goes until he's maxed out.
Yeah.
He'll just comb the map and make sure there's no spider mines anywhere.
There's absolutely no timings. It's an unpunished Nexus first.
Right.
Where he actually got lightly punished by the Dragoons. So yeah, there is absolutely nothing until at least 2-1 in max.
Well, we're saying that, but now I feel like he's going to try to come in here, but this should work.
Oh, you're talking about Protoss? I was talking about Terran.
Oh, okay.
No, Protoss can kind of do, like, several different things here, I think, right? Because he has Arbiters. So.
I think I'm right now I'm just exposing the problem with the way I play this matchup. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, there's nothing you can do.
No,
you got to stay back.
Yeah,
That's like what I do.
Protoss is in complete control right now. It doesn't mean that Terran's dead or anything, but yeah, Protoss can kind of just run around and do things.
Is he going to get that depot? Yeah. I don't think he's going to push in much further than this.
Yeah.
That's the never-before-seen Arbiter 7 Dragoon shuttle attack time.
Yeah, very, very weird. Look at the amount of Zealots he has. Jeez.
Yeah, and if you guys hadn't noticed, this is where the Protoss' supply spikes up. It gets really high.
And realistically, like, JYJ should have enough SCVs at this point that we're just going to see him really start to macro from here.
Right.
But he has to stay turtled until he's maxed out, because, again, it's an unpunished Nexus first, which just allows Protoss to do a lot of things. Oh, boy.
Okay, that was interesting stasis there, because this also acts as a wall.
Yeah.
Probably would have been better to stasis the 2 tanks above this.
The SCV pull doing real work right there, slowing this down. He's got to target goons with these tanks. It's very important. He's just kind of helping him kill his own tanks here.
Yeah, and now he's going to be able to get in here. And, you know, Terran cannot afford to lose the third. Not every game can end like this, but if there it is.
Yeah.
GG. Wow.
Yeah, it's a little bit tough. Like, I'm not sure about this map yet and how to